Hello, my friends, and welcome to Quartet. It's so nice to have you with us here on a kind of a snowy day in Berkeley Springs. It's kind of symbolic. I mean, it's less than an inch, but it makes it look like wintertime, and it's really quite nice. And we're happy to have you with us. And I'm joined, as I always am, by my friends Penny Kelly. Hello, Penny.
Hi, John. Good to be here. Hi, Greg. Hi, Kingsley. And it's really winter here.
Yeah, I'll bet in Michigan. I'm happy you're there and I'm here. And Gregg Braden down in New Mexico. Hi, Greg. How are you?
Hello. It's good to be with everyone. I'm good. I am coming to you from our studio outside of Santa Fe. It is unseasonably cold and icy. The sun's out, so that's good. But it's been really cold this week.
And Kingsley Dennis from the UK. Hi, Kingsley. How are you?
Hello, John. Hello, everyone. Greetings. It's chilly here, but no snow so far. Just chill.
And so thanks to all of you who are watching and stay with us here. Our topic today is going to be a very interesting one. We're all going to talk about twisted plots, plot twists, how the world may turn into something different than everybody thinks it is in the next 4 years or so. And so lots of good ideas that are going to be floating around here in a while. So hang around and stay with us. As I suggested at the beginning of this session, I'm impressed almost every day with the irregularity, irrationality, unpredictability, anomalous nature of what's going on, the inability to make sense out of things, and everybody's lying to everybody about everything, and there are so many games going on at so many different levels that at a far greater degree than any time in my life, and I've been involved in a lot of this kind of in these areas and these levels in the past. And so it makes me wonder what the output, what's the likely things that are going to come out of this in the next 4 or 5 years. And so I thought it'd be interesting to kind of tee up a number of kind of alternative kind of ideas or subsidiary or supporting ideas about what might be on the horizon, so that we can kind of broaden our perspective and be able to keep this open aperture that needs to be done. So let me run through a couple of them quickly and then give us all a chance to talk about. I'm impressed, and for a long time thought that there is a place somewhere in the near future when there's going to be a new revolutionary platform that runs in the face of and competes with Google and Facebook and all of these kinds of stuff, that is the next generation of kind of a platform for community building, and that it gets around a lot of the kind of issues that are related to the intelligence community and the governments and the commercial kind of interests of present big social media and other kinds of things. That, by the way, if it happens, and it would be a natural kind of response to the negative aspects of Google and other folks, could become the platform for the emergence of for a new world. I think there's going to be in the next 4 years a clear kind of understanding of the rapid shift in the assumption of what's going on in terms of climate change, quite differently from where the main line is right now. This is going to coalesce clearly within the next 4 years into some critical pieces of research or whatever it turns, or experiences, events, could really do the thing. But it's going to, in the face of all of this kind of change, and what you got to look at this is say, if all of these things or any number of these things happen at the same time, what you get is an underlying big psychological kind of shift, where people suddenly start to say and look at themselves and look at the world differently, and are far more open to change and sensitive to the change than they've been before.
I think we are going to see a breakdown of the climate agenda that is being perpetuated through legacy media, because it's not supported by the evidence. You and I have done programs on that. Other people are as well. So people are waking up to that. I think we are going to see another pandemic, and I believe it will be not a COVID pandemic. I think it'll be a more virulent engineered virus coming out of one of these research labs, and they're already preparing for it. They're already running the scenarios right now that they ran before COVID. So they know that this is coming, they being UN, WEF, WHO, all those. We are in a cycle of war. And a lot of people don't think about war in terms of cycles, but it's directly linked to magnetic fields of the sun and of the earth. And we're going to see a ramping up of that, of the war cycle. How nations respond to it, I think we're seeing right now. So I think we are going to see more war. And I think as a result of that, I think we'll see the collapse of the European Union within the next 4 years. Probably the nations will go back to their native currencies. I don't think the euro is going to be a viable currency for all of the EU as it has been in the past. And these are all contributing to population decline. The war will contribute to population decline as it spreads, certainly the pandemic. One of the shocking things that I've talked about and some other people are talking about now is there is a global population decline based upon infertility that very few people saw coming. So we're losing people faster than we're able to procreate, and sterility in male sperm count is declining. The quality of male sperm count, a lot of it is due to environmental factors, but bottom line, we're going to see a population decline. All of those things, John, I think are going to force a choice into what society we choose to live in. And I think two parallel societies are emerging. One of those is the society that is so frightened by what they're seeing, and they're going to be all in on any remedy that's offered to them through governments, and that is going to be a relinquishing of freedoms in exchange for a perception of safety.
There could be a top-down implosion. That means that there will be factional infighting within the cabal. And I think we've seen some of that already with the Davos and the Schwab and the leadership passing on. And also defections from those cabals and elite whistleblowers coming out. So we're going to see a splitting off, a factional infighting, which then starts to implode from the top down of these elite institutions. And again, we have the consequence of how that trickles down into governmental and social systems. Because of that, of course, all these kind of have like a domino effect. Because of that, we could have then huge governmental scandals come to light because certain WEF puppets get seen for who they are. And the domino effect of that is certain governments that were tightly aligned with the cabal will collapse. And because of that, you then have a huge public backlash for those people who trusted in the pharmaceutical industry. And then you'll have huge legal battles for compensation and payouts against the pharmaceutical industry, which the legal system will be forced into complying with because of these being publicly admitted. Also, further resignations will come out of Ukraine, and because of that, the regime of Ukraine collapses also. And because of the regime collapse in Ukraine, Germany, which was once or has been used as a go-between Europe and America, because it's the pivot in Eurasia, will then find its newfound freedom, and Germany will split from the EU and join the China or Sino-Russian trading bloc, such as the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. When Germany does that, it will also support the Belt Initiative from China, because the Belt Initiative actually finishes in Germany all the way from Central Asia. It'll then start to actively and publicly support the Belt Road Initiative. And because of that, the domino effect will be that Europe collapses and splits off. And with Europe splitting because of wanting to gain greater economic security and greater energy security, it will, again, certain EU countries will join the Russian, Sino, Central Asian economies and also align further with the BRIC economies. And therefore, Europe will drop the euro, and most of those countries will drop the dollar as their major trading, whether it's a fiat currency or a digital central bank currency, it'll drop that.
So the number one thing that came up for me, and I have 11 of these things, was that the monopoly on energy, somebody's got a chokehold on energy and oil and et cetera, et cetera. And that comes to an end. I think that's probably the Rockefeller Rothschild group that has that monopoly, and that monopoly comes to an end, which if you back up would mean that they have lost power, they are losing power, and that is a major, if we change, like you said, John, if we change energy, everything changes. This was an ET spacecraft lands in the middle of Kansas, or maybe Nebraska, or well, let me say the way that I was playing with it in my mind. So this craft lands, and off of the craft walk several of the government officials that we are all familiar with. And they say, oh, well, we didn't want you to know, but we're really not from here. We're really ET. We look just like you. Okay. And they introduce the fact that we have been dealing with ETs for 50, 60, 80 years at least. So that if that occurs, the shock to the human consciousness, the opening to the cosmos and what's out there, what's beyond the edge of your front yard, just trying to get people to go past that, is tremendous and resets everything. That's my
that's fascinating, and all of you had marvelously provocative kind of ideas here today, and I really appreciate you bringing all of that together, and I'm sure those who will watch this will appreciate it very much as well. Lamentably, we're out of time, and so what we let me just remind you all that are listening that we do this every 2 weeks, and we come back to you, and we hope that you'll come and you'll share this with your friends and encourage others to take a look at it. And if you'd like to find out more about what we're doing, you can come to arlingtoninstitute.org, and you can see the many projects and programs of the Arlington Institute. And particularly, we'd encourage you to take a look at Transition Talks, which is our monthly live and live streamed presentation speaker format and forum that features some people like Penny Kelly and Gregg Braden, among others. And we've got a wonderful lineup. You can find it there at Arlington Institute or at transitiontalks.org. So thank you so much. And thank you that those of you who watch, we very much appreciate it and hope that you'll put some questions or comments in the space. And we'll come back and we'll be with you again in a couple of weeks. So take care. Goodbye.
Bye-bye,
Thank you all so much.